Hey, this is Bob Anderson, and I'm going to do a video for October 13th, 2022. I took, I attempted a trade that I call the house money trade. That'll be one that I'll show today. It's really a combination of things that you're already familiar with. I have tried this trade, I think 3 times. I think this is the 3rd time I have tried this trade since I got out of the continuation only trades from August 15th all the way through to about September 15th, where I took my funded account and got it past my trailing stops and all that kind of stuff. I think I've tried this trade 3 times. The reality of it is I'm just rusty with it. It's an old trade that I just haven't tried often enough to get back out of it, but it's a great trade when it works. And even though I've tried it 3 times and it hasn't worked all 3 times, ironically, I've still made money on it. Even today, I made like $300 on it with 1 contract. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this trade. I do not recommend this trade for anybody doing the evaluation or anybody still dealing with trailing stops. I just don't recommend it. Don't complicate things, please, folks. I want every one of you to get through the evaluation. I want every one of you to get funded accounts. So when I talk about some of these other trades, like I've told you, the 5-minute gold line trade, I don't recommend that for people trying to get through the evaluation. There's too much stop in it. There's too much play in it, heading to targets and stuff like that. I mean, if you're looking to pass the evaluation, overnight open trade and the continuation trade. That's it. Don't do anything else. And I only did the continuation trade to get through my evaluations. But those 2 trades are the ones you can really hold your stops tight, be convicted, movement is supposed to go immediately with you, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so let's talk about the house money trade. It works off the 1-minute chart. I've got 2 examples of it today. I got the one that I took that didn't work, and I got the one that literally set up right after it. And I've run some pretty solid numbers for you to show you what this trade is worth. Anyways, the trade must agree with the 5-minute chart, okay? 1-minute trades have to agree with the 5-minute chart. The 1-minute chart does not override the 5-minute chart, okay? Anyways, it's a gold line trade on the 1-minute chart with 1 contract, and then there's 2 entries, 2 separate entries. You gotta get in the first time, then you gotta recreate another. Let's talk about a long. So you gotta do a buy at the gold line first, pull back to the gold line. You gotta do a buy there. And then up above, you got to do a buy stop and drag it down to the top of the candles for your continuation trade. So you just pretend like this trade doesn't even exist. And then you do it a continuation trade. So it's two trades. But here's the key to it. Because you got in at the gold line and you're risking 2 points, which is $100. When it comes up and starts doing the continuation, you can very aggressively go with 2 contracts on your continuation. Because as soon as your continuation enters, you grab your stop, you move it to even, and you're using the money from the gold line up to the break of the top of the candles as your buffer money. Now you're in the trade with 3 contracts, no risk. From that continuation, you treat it as a 5-point trade from there. So you make sure your target is 5 points up from your entry. Bam. That's what the objective is. So the way the trade works is you're risking that first $100 on the gold line. Okay, 2-point stop off the gold line. And your reward is somewhere between, say, $700 to $1,000. The reason you don't know exactly what the reward is because the depth of the candles before you do the break is how far up your gold line goes before you even enter the second two contracts, if that makes sense. The second two contracts are supposed to get you 5 points. So that's $250 each, which is $500. The third contract, which is your gold line one, that gets you that same $250 also. So you're at, that's $750 right there. Am I right? Yeah, $750. I guess you're getting more than $700 then. and then it's the depth of the candle. So like if the candles are 2 points deep, that's another $100. See, so it's an $850 trade. When I show you the examples, I'll explain it better. So the intent is to risk $100. The reward is supposed to be something north of $750 to $1,000. And it's just basically a push, a pullback to the gold line, and a push. And you hit both of them at the right spots. You're in here, and as it's going up, you're using the profit in this one to give you the confidence to hit the continuation with two contracts, because you're grabbing your stop, putting it at the calculated even that your ninja's going to show. Boom, there you are, and off you go, and you make sure your target's 5 points up. I have tried that trade 3 times, and I've muffed it up 3 times. But I have still made money. I made $500 on it last week doing that same trade, and today I made $250 today on it. So anyways, $250, $300, something like that. Anyways, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you the one I took that failed, and then I'm going to show you the next one that worked really well. All right, so here it goes. House money trade. Do you get where that comes from? House. You're using their money for your addition, for your step up trade. This is like a reverse of averaging. Now you're averaging when the money's in your benefit. That's when you want to be averaging. You want to be averaging when the money's in your benefit, not when the money's in the benefit of the other traders. So let's talk about it right here. All right, so this is your 1 minute chart, okay? And this was at 9:58 or so. So I'm looking for longs. Quickly over here. This is finally when price got north of the red line. Remember, we had a big down day from the news. Blah, blah, blah. Then we broke through at 9:55. We crossed over the red line. And it never went below it again. It's a Christmas miracle how they just steal money from people every day. So anyways, that's why you got to be on the right side of the market when you're trading. So I didn't look for any of these longs until we got on this side of this red line. So I saw that, and then I saw, here, let's do this. I'm going to shrink it here so you can see. We did a run up. Let's try this again. We did broke pivots. This was still, by the way, this setup was beautiful and all that stuff, but this was on the wrong side of the red line. So I didn't take this, but it ran up. Now we're on the right side of the red line. Nice big deep pull. I mean, this is 46. The red line's back here at 34. It's a nice 12-point spread between the top and the bottom. You know, between the gold line and the pivot. 12 points. That's beautiful and handsome. That's the kind of stuff you really want to see. So let me spread this back out. So what was my first, what was my first entry? My first entry was the gold line from the pullback, which was right here at 34.50. And the damn thing went down and took me out at 32.75. But 0.75. So, but I didn't give up, okay? Because remember, this is a continuation trade next. That's step 2. Step 2 is a continuation trade. So just because my gold line trade got knocked out, I didn't give up. By the way, that's exactly how I made $500 on this trade last week. My gold line trade got eaten up. But when it rotated over and did the continuation, I was all over it, and it ran up for 5 points for me for $500. But anyway, so this one, so I took the break right here, and that thing literally just stuck its finger through, came down, and knocked me out again. That's 2 times in a row. Now I only did it with one contract. I didn't do the double contract. When this one blew out on me, and again, I wasn't really that far over the red lines over here on the 5 minute. I just didn't have the full confidence. The market was down so freaking much that I said, okay, whatever. And I did another buy stop for a point, for one tick. And I went 1 tick above this pivot right here. So now I took the new pivot high, put my buy in here, and bam, it went right on through, hit me for 5 points, just like that. I mean, literally for that, like that. So now what I did is I ran some numbers on this just to give you an idea. When I went in for at 32.75, the break buy was 35.25. Okay. So if this thing had actually worked the way it's supposed to, off the gold line and then the break for 5 points, it would have been an $875 trade. $875 trade. Okay? So now let's talk about the next one that set up that actually did work. I didn't take it, but it worked. So let's talk about it. So again, we had this consolidation garbage and ran right up. Remember, we're still on the north side. This will be the second one. This one came back. Here's your gold line. So your gold line is about 43.75, 43.75. Went down to 42.50, so it went through by a point and a quarter, and then went over to here and ran up. Your second entry. Now this is where it gets a little dicey. Your second entry is the break of this red candle right here. This red candle right here. Because remember, you're doing the break of the pivot. I mean, the break of the top of the candle for your continuation. So your entry is 49.75 right there. 1 tick above that. 49.75. So 5 points from 49.75 is 54.75. Remember that. 5 points from the top of that candle right there is 54.75. Everybody hear that? 55 even. Rolled over. So it went 5 points. Exactly. 5 points in 1 quarter. And at 5.25 points. That's not by accident. That's not by accident. Anyways, that trade, because of the depth of the gold line, would have been worth $1,037.50, and you risked $100 to get into it. Remember, your break even, when this thing broke right here, okay, when you hit that 49.75 as your buy stop, the break of this candle, your stop was 47.50 right here for break even. You weren't risking anything. So now you're 3 contracts in, your stop's at 47.50. But you're in at 49.75 and your target is 54.75 right there. And it went through by a tick and then rolled over. That stuff's not by accident. Pretty amazing, huh? I'm going to show you something else that's not by accident. just for fun, since we're on this video. I'm going to show you something else that's not by accident. Okay? I think the more I show you these things, the more you go, son of a bitch, Bob is right. The market really does have a rhythm to it. You ready for this one? Here's this one right here. This is the 5 minute chart, of course. Here's 1:45 in the morning. Here's your overnight open. Okay? Let's blow this up. Let's blow this up. Here's your overnight open right here. That went through here by, let's see here, what's the open? What is the open? Can't even see it anymore. What is the open? 96.25. It ran up to 96.75. So it went through by two ticks. So your entry, remember on the pullback, is 96 even. Okay? That would be your entry on the short at 1:45 in the morning. 96 even short. Remember this. 35.96 even. Remember that. Does anybody find it amazing that it ran down to 35.86 even? 10 exact points. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It ran down exactly 10 points. There's no statistical anomaly for that. It ran down exactly 10 points from the overnight open at 1:45 in the morning. Anyways, these are gold nuggets that I'm giving you here. Seriously, all you got to do is learn how to use them, and keep your mind right. That's what I struggle with. Keep your mind right, but learn these tricks, and you'll make money. Yep, you'll make money. Anyways, all my accounts were positive today, so it's another day towards my 4 evaluation accounts being positive. And I booked $300 on my live account. So let's think about this. On Monday, I made $250. On Tuesday, I made $500. Wednesday, I just dicked and dunked because it was FOMC. And today I've made $300. So that's 800. I'm at 1,050 for the week. And I mean, I literally didn't have any time today. I'm at 1,050 for the week. I mean, I understand these aren't astronomical numbers. I get that. But y'all, remember, I'm trading one contract. Think how deadly that 1,050 will be with 5 accounts. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. One more thing. I get a lot of emails from people. I get a lot of messages. I try my best to respond. The emails, I'm probably going to have to spend the weekend looking at them to get back to people. I am not blowing anybody off. Seriously. I'm just very, very busy. And I got to get a bunch of stuff wrapped up before the holidays so people can get into their houses. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.